It's that time of year again, lots of months and lots of miles, and you're thinking, oh my God, I have to get new shoes. And then you're thinking, oh my God, I have to get new shoes. But I like my shoes, they're so comfortable. And I don't like to get new shoes because they don't ever feel right and they take so long to break in. I'm Cara from Kinetic Konnections, founder of the bridging technique. And in this video, I'm going to share a different characteristic of athletic shoes to take into account so that you can find a better match for what works for you. We're going to discuss what the concept of rise is in a shoe. So what rise is, why it matters, and then how to figure out what's the right rise for your foot. So in the world of shoes, rise is simply the difference between the front of the shoe and the back of the shoe. If it were a dress shoe, we'd call it the heel height. These are my running shoes. They're called a zero drop and or zero rise. From the front to the back, they're the same height off the ground. I find that those are most comfortable for me. It's similar to a barefoot shoe, and it distributes the force when I strike the ground really well, and it just is comfortable for me. When I'm walking, I tend to land more on my heel, and I like a little bit of a rise. So in walking shoes, these, you can see that from the front to the back, just the height of these little segments is a little bit more in the back than the front. And these and my hiking shoes, again, same thing, less in the front, more in the back. They're called minimal rise. A number of other shoes, you can easily see a 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch build to the back. So once we figure out what the right amount is for you, it's going to make all the difference in the world. Why? Why does rise matter? Because it's how your foot is supported lengthwise. Different than the arch or arch support. This is how is your foot supported from the toes through the middle to the back, to the heel. And when it's supported in more of the manner of which it really functions, it's going to be a more comfortable and a more efficient shoe for you to use when you're out walking and running. So next we're going to show you how to check your foot to see what the right rise is for you. If you don't have someone to help you with this, what you can also do is take the shoes that you have, do a little investigating, and find out what type of shoe they are. It's not a concept that's commonly discussed, but the shoe experts will know when you talk to them and say you want a zero rise, you want a minimal rise, you want about a 1/2 inch rise, and that'll narrow down the choices that you have to look at. To show you how to check for the rise in the foot, this is Louise's foot. I'm holding at the heel and I'm just putting my hand gently underneath the front of the foot and I'm lifting up. So I'm keeping the back stable and I'm just lifting up. And you can see from the side, her foot wants to stay in a position where the front of the foot is about a 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch lower than the back where the heel is. So I don't have her heel bent, and I'm actually not trying to straighten it as much as possible. I'm just like, what's her natural easy? So I'm holding right underneath the middle of her heel and just looking at where does her foot naturally stop. And coincidentally, she actually prefers to wear about a 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch heel. So for her, a nice athletic shoe would have a rise of about 3/8 to a 1/2 inch. And that's how we check. If you end up with one foot different than the other, try to find, if it's just a little different, try to find a shoe that's got a rise that's kind of splits the difference, or go with the lesser and then get a gel insert to give a little support and a little more rise to the one that has more of a, needs more of a lift to it. So it's really simple and it'll make your foot feel so much more supported. That's how we can check rise for you. There's one other component to selecting a shoe that is, we look at it a little bit differently, and that's stability. And in the next video, I discuss how stability can be different in different shoes, types of shoes, and then how to find what's right for you for the activity that you're planning on using those shoes for. So if you like the video, please give us a like if you found this helpful, and subscribe to the channel We like to share more useful tips for every day. If you think that bridging may be able to help you and improve your foot function, in the show notes you can see our contact information to schedule either a virtual or in-person appointment. And if you'd like to learn more about how to do bridging, please email, again in the show notes, so that we can add you to our mailing list for upcoming educational opportunities. I hope you found this video helpful. Enjoy the new shoes.